a salute to America. Well, Michael Pineda is coming out to the mound. The Yankees are on the field, and we're all set to go. I think they're going to have a pretty big crowd here tonight. Every time you look up and you see guys at the very end of the top of the upper deck, there's a bunch of guys sitting there right at the end. And so I think they're going to have a really big crowd. They should. Yankees Red Sox on a gorgeous weekend in New York. We are coming to you live from the Sunoco broadcast booth, the Sunoco Free Fuel 5000. Get the decal, get spotted, and win. Salino and Barnes remind you that this copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Salino and Barnes is one of our nation's largest personal injury firms. If you're injured, don't wait. Call 8. Call Salino and Barnes now at 800-888-8888. Offices in Manhattan and Long Island. Well, the Red Sox were here bright and early. About 2 o'clock, they were outside when I got here doing PFP and doing all kinds of drills and running in the outfield. And it was a break for everybody that didn't go to the All-Star break. So you start working on it. Yankees were out early hitting, and now we are back, ready to do the last 2.5 months of this season. So here we go. And as the All-Star right fielder Mookie Betts steps up to the plate, stepping up to the microphone as the voice of the New York Yankees, here is John Sterling.
Well, Susan, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone. Let's make a break time for the Yankees. They have 10 games at home, and let's say they have to go something like 7-3 to gain some ground. More on that in a moment. Pineda is ready for his first pitch to Mookie Betts, a right-hand hitter, and there's a breaking ball strike. It is vital for Pineda to get through the first 2 innings. I don't mean the Yankees will win if he gets through the first 2, but they can't afford to have him give up 4 or 5 runs. Here is the 0-1. Betts lines one. Great diving stop to Teixeira. Throws to Pineda. In time, he robbed him of a hit. Mark Teixeira. A diving stop in the first base hole, or it would be another hit for the great Boston leadoff man, Mookie Betts. Boston has, by far, the best offense in baseball, and I will document it. Mookie was at .304, 18 homers, 59 RBIs. Just hear the numbers on this Boston team, up and down the lineup. They all hit for power, they all drive in runs, and most of them steal bases. Here's Dustin Pedroia. He's at .304, 8 homers and 37 RBIs. A right-hand hitter, and the pitch, a strike on the outside corner. Pineda has had humongous problems in the first couple of innings. He's got to pitch well. He and Eovaldi have to pitch well as starters if the Yankees are going to go anywhere. One of their problems. The 0-1 cut on him. He blew it by him.
And tonight's first pitch from Pineda was 94 miles an hour. Choosing the pitcher is important. Your choices matter, too. Please drive responsibly. A reminder from the New York City Department of Transportation and the Vision Zero Initiative.
I'll be an 0-2 to Pedroia. No one questions Pineda's stuff, or Eovaldi's stuff for that matter. The 0-2 pitch is low. Can they win with it? And the answer is not consistently. In fact, you might say the Yankees with Pineda, Eovaldi, the middle bullpen, Teixeira and A-Rod have been maddeningly inconsistent. And unless they start to do a lot better, I don't know if the Yankees will challenge for a playoff spot. Now, if they do better, that's something else again. Here is the 1-2 to Pedroia. Struck him out swinging high fastball. Blew it by him. The Boston Red Sox have scored 490 runs. How good is that? Well, in the American League, Toronto has 447, Texas 443, and Baltimore 442, or roughly 45 runs behind them. So this offense is terrific. Their pitching is another story. That's been their big problem. Well, 2-8, and here is Xander Bogaerts. He's at .329, 10 homers and 56 RBIs. And Pineda deals, and there's a breaking ball strike.
You know, the pitch that Pedroia struck out on, it was a 97-mile-an-hour fastball up and in. And I don't think he thought it was going to tail in like that. Up is okay, but up and in is difficult.
I'll be an 0-1 to the right-hand hitting Bogaerts. And the pitch foul back, 0-2. with Big Papi on deck.
Well, this is the way you need Pineda to come out, and this is exactly, they wanted him to be aggressive. Larry Rothschild said he gets in trouble when he does not become aggressive. He's got to go right after hitters.
And you have to go after these guys because one after the other is a good hitter. Pineda doesn't walk a lot of people anyway. High heel deal 0-2 to Bogarts. Ground ball wide of third. Grab by Headley. Turns and throws to first in time. Nice play by Chase. Pineda has a 1-2-3. At the end of a half, Boston nothing. Yankees coming to bat. On the WFAN New York Yankees radio network.
As the team looks to the future and more championships, young men like Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, and Jorge Mateo are part of the young crop of future stars to soon don the pinstripes. Now, as you look to your future, look no further than Mutual of America. Celebrate the spirit of America. Mutual of America, your retirement company. Visit mutualofamerica.com.
What if every time you stepped on the mound, you had an all-star catcher call a game for you? That's exactly what happens when you put Direct Energy's business team on your team. Direct Energy Business has products to fit and support all of your energy goals. Whether it's scoring electricity, making a defensive play on green products, or securing a lineup to perform energy management solutions. Learn more at directenergy.com. Direct Energy, making businesses better.
When Michael Pineda struck out Dustin Pedroia, that was his first strikeout of the game, and Winthrop University Hospital reminds you that they strike out cancer with their CyberKnife technology. Winthrop University Hospital, your health means everything.
Well, the Yankees face all-star pitcher, knuckleball Stephen Wright, one of the big surprises of this year in either league. Wright is 10-5. Well, maybe that's because Boston hit so well. But his ERA is 2.68, a little over 2.5. He has been an unbelievable pleasant surprise for the Red Sox, and he deals to Gardner, and the knuckler's outside. There's not one Yankee batter who has good numbers off Wright. Brian McCann's 2 for 5. He's only had 5 at bats. But everyone else, 1 for 8, 1 for 9, 1 for 7, like that. The 1-0 is low 2-0. Gardner's at 257, 5 homers and 22 RBIs. Now, this is the real Yankee lineup. They're all back together, maybe just for tonight. But if Teixeira and A-Rod pitch to Gardner, and it's cut on a miss, 2-1. If they join the party and start to hit like they're supposed to, and then it really is a pretty good lineup, because now you have at the bottom Didi, Castro, and Headley. That's not a bad 7, 8, and 9. Well, we shall see. And the 2-1. Swung on, a fly ball to left. Coming in is Holt. He's there to make the catch, and there is one away.
Come on out to the stadium on Saturday, July 23rd, when the Yankees take on the Giants in an interleague matchup. It's Military Appreciation Day and Camo Cap Day. There's the first 18,000 guests in attendance, 21 and older, receive a Camo Yankees cap, courtesy of Budweiser. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. You know what you just said is so true, because the Yankees lineup was made for those guys in the middle, and if to hit. Give them power. And if that's not there, it just throws the whole balance off, and it has the whole first half.
Oh, absolutely. The Yankees have hit very poorly. Even with surges by Didi and McCann, Beltran's terrific year. Pitch is outside. Their homers are way down. Their runs scored is way down. These aren't the Yankees. And it's set up Ellsbury and Gardner, the 4 big guys in the middle. I gave you the bottom 3. On paper, a very good lineup. Here's the 1-0. Ellsbury takes a knuckler high. Ellsbury at 279, 4 homers, 29 RBIs. And you look at the middle, now McCann is hitting. Beltran's hit all year. The 2-0 is swung on and hit in the air down the left field line. A long run for Holt toward the line. He stops to make the catch, and they're 2 away. And Susan puts the spotlight. I'm sorry, we're on the air. We have to tell the truth. Puts the spotlight directly on Mark Teixeira and Alex Rodriguez.
Well, it does, and it should be, because I know Alex is not hit. I know Teixeira's been hurt. I know Alex was on the DL. I know that Teixeira has torn cartilage, but this team is built for them. And if they're not going to perform, it's going to be a long year.
Beltran takes a strike. Carlos at 299, 19 homers and 56 RBIs. And he's been the best Yankee hitter. Didi has been the best all-around player. Beltran a switch hitter batting left, and the pitch a strike. Wright has terrific numbers. 17 games and starts, 114 innings, 94 hits, 20 less hits than innings pitched. He's walked 43, about 3.5 per 9. Not bad for a knuckler. The 0-2 way outside. He has struck out 94, a little better than 2-to-1 ratio. And he's only given up 7 homers in 114 innings. It's about 1 every 16 innings, which is fabulous. Usually knuckleballs give up home runs because sometimes the pitch flattens out. Here's the 1-2. And he struck him out swinging, and that ends the inning. So both teams go down 1-2-3 at the end of one no score on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep. But boy, what a year to go out. Left-hand hitter with phenomenal power, can hit the ball out everywhere. And Pineda deals, the pitch is outside, a fastball. 3 infielders on the right side.
Pedro Martinez doesn't believe he's going to retire. He says he's crazy if he does that. I think he's having this kind of year because the pressure's all off him. Pedro says he shouldn't retire.
1-0 is a strike. Well, I would say that too. I have. He's hitting .332. He's, I think, second in the league in hitting. And he has 22 homers and 72 RBIs at the break. Whoa. So he's been, you would say he's been as fabulous as ever. Actually, he's been better. He's better than ever at 40.
You know, Joe Girardi said it's also he got off to such a good start. He isn't playing catch-up like he has a lot of years.
1-1 as Conrad missed 1-2. The Ford Freedom Sales event is on for a limited time. Enjoy great financing and low lease offers. Hurry to your local Ford dealer for more information. So Pineda ahead of Ortiz 1-2. And the right-hander deals up high with the fastball 2-2.
Scoreboard update is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Vehicle offers and inventory at mbusa.com. In the American League, Detroit, Ian Kinsler's 17th homer. It was a leadoff homer. And Detroit has a 1-0 lead over KC at top of the second.
Pitch struck him out swinging. Well, Pineda strikes out Ortiz. That's Michael's second strikeout, 1 away. Here's Hanley Ramirez. He's at 288, 8 homers and 49 RBIs.
No score. Baltimore at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay had lost 6 straight before the break. Yovani Gallardo against Chris Archer.
Do you know, I read this today on one of the crawls on one of the sports stations. Tampa has lost 22 out of 25.
Ooh.
That worst record in the major leagues. Imagine 3-22.
Oh, worst record in the majors?
Well, that time, 3-22.
For them, yeah.
Here's a pitch to Hanley, and there's a strike. So, we're all rooting for Tampa Bay.
Cleveland and Minnesota at 8. Carlos Carrasco against Irvin Santana. Miguel Gonzalez and Hector Santiago go at it as the White Sox are in L.A. to face the Angels of Anaheim. Toronto's in Oakland, and Houston's at Seattle.
That'll be an 0-1. Hanley backs out.
You know what's good about the way our All-Star break went? We didn't have to come in yesterday and get on a plane and fly to Oakland, which we've done many times.
Oh, absolutely. The 0-1. Low. Luck of the draw. It's been great. I mean, the 4 days off for us were absolutely great.
I didn't talk for almost 4 days. I feel like I'm shot out of a cannon.
I think that's the good thing to do. I tried my best to keep my big fat mouth shut.
Well, I don't need to talk to the dogs. I don't answer them back.
It'll be a 1-1 to Hanley Ramirez. You know, people wondered, could he play first? Would he survive? He's doing great. Pitch is the sinker inside 2-1. Just look at 49 RBIs. Imagine if he drove a near 100. Look at their whole lineup. Anyway, it'll be a 2-1 to Hanley.
In the National League, it's over in Chicago. The Cubs shut out Texas 6-0. Kyle Hendricks beat Martin Perez. Addison Russell 2 for 4, 2 ribbies.
Here's the 2-1. Swung on and lined on 1 hop to second. Castro knocks it down, recovers, throws to first, 2 away. I think Texas, let me look, Susan. I think Texas has hit the skids. They've lost 8 out of 11.
And now Derek Holland is not going to be back until at least August 20th. They had to move him to the 60-day DL, and they lost their left-handed setup guy, Jake Diekman. We'll talk about that. He's out, lacerated finger. We'll get into that and how he did it. It's really peculiar. Mets in Philly. No score, top of the second. They're in Philadelphia. Bartolo Colon against Jeremy Hellickson. Pittsburgh and Washington, no score, top of the second. Milwaukee has scored once in the top of the first, 1-0 Milwaukee over Cincy.
Jackie Bradley takes a breaking ball low. Bradley having a breakout year. He's hitting .296, 14 homers, 55 RBIs, and their numbers are unbelievable. And this isn't a half a year now. You have to double them, then you see what the numbers are like. Here's the 1-0. Is outside. Bradley, a left-hand hitter.
Colorado's at Atlanta at 7:30. Jorge De La Rosa against Lucas Harrell. Miami's at St. Louis. Wayne Chen against Jaime Garcia. It'll be Bud Norris against Patrick Corbin as the Dodgers in Arizona. And San Francisco at San Diego.
2-0 is low, 3-0.
Madison Bumgarner against Andrew Kashner.
Bradley is also a terrific defensive center fielder, so they move Betts to right. Betts has a better arm. They have two young stars there. The 3-0 is a strike at the knees, 3-1. One thing, the lineup is so good that John Farrell can't change it. So he winds up with 3 lefty hitters in a row, Bradley, Shaw, and Holt, although, as Pineda is ready to deal 3-1. Hit hard to second. Castro right there, throws to first. Another 1-2-3 for Pineda. And boy, that's a big thing for Pineda.
New York is today's Yankees Radio Network Acme Markets home run payoff contestant. Howard will win a $100 Acme Markets gift card for every home run hit.
Now here's the Yankees' hottest hitter, Brian McCann. 3 infielders on the right side. Brian, obviously a lefty hitter, and takes high. McCann was in a terrible hitting slump. He was hitting under 100 for about, 15 games or so. And all of a sudden he's broken out. He's up to 248, 12 homers and 38 RBIs. And takes a strike. And the breakout, I hate to give you all these numbers. Who can remember all these numbers? But in his last 10 games, he's hit .375 with a bunch of homers. Now here's the 1-1 from right. Swung on and popped him up in the infield. Off first, Ramirez foul territory. Makes the catch, 1 away. 10-second station ID on the WFAN New York Yankees Radio Network.
Jets give Muhammad Wilkerson an extension, as do the Broncos with Von Miller, but no deal for the Redskins and Kirk Cousins. More later, WFAN, WFAN-FM, New York.
John Sterling, Susan Waldman, Yankee Stadium, scoreless, bottom of the second, 1 out, no one on. But here's Mark Teixeira, and the Yankees need a whole lot more from him in the second half if they're to contend. And Teixeira takes a knuckler outside. Tex at 193. Is that amazing? Would you ever believe that? A guy this good, 193, 7 homers and 20 RBIs. And here's the 1-0. And there's a knuckler strike.
Yeah, John told you about Stephen Wright's great ERA. Well, it's the best in the American League. When was the last time you ever heard of a knuckleballer having the best ERA in the league?
Amazing. And pitch. Foul back. And he was a non-entity before the year began. Oh, yeah, I know, the knuckleball, Stephen Wright. That's all you knew about.
That's right. He was back and forth to Pawtucket. Every time they needed a fifth starter, they'd bring him up, send him back, bring him up, send him back. Something clicked this year, though.
1-2. Swung on a little bloop to left field. Holt cuts toward the line to make the catch. And they're a two-way. Get out of the dugout and into the game with Brute antiperspirant and deodorant. Because on the field, like in life, why be a man when you could be the man? Brute, the essence of man. And here's Alex Rodriguez. I also believe this, that if the Yankees are to go somewhere, they better start playing A-Rod. DH, even first base. He can play first base. He's a good enough athlete to play first base. And they need him to provide some sock in the middle of the lineup. He has the ability. Can he do it? I don't know. Pitch is high, but I would take the chance on playing him, is I guess what I'm saying. A-Rod at 220, 8 homers, 28 RBIs.
Well, you know, the longer he sits on the bench, the worse the timing is going to be, and it's like a chicken or the egg.
1-0 is high, 2-0.
And if you don't play, you're not going to hit. If you don't hit, you're not going to play. But they need both Teixeira and Alex to hit. And he was out there today taking grounders at first base. He's a great athlete. He can play.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Here's the 2-0. Caught on and missed, or actually foul tip. 3 infielders on the left side. A-Rod is still a force to be reckoned with. We see how people pitch to him, and they get worried about him. Anyway, I would play him. That's my little advice for the day. And there's the 2-1. Caught on him. It's 2-2. And if he doesn't hit tonight, hey, no one hits this guy. You don't hit knuckleballs. He has to make a mistake. Or you build runs on walks and pass balls and such. This guy's very tough to hit, obviously. So 2-2 on A-Rod. And the pitch is swung on and grounded to short. Bogarts fields and throws, and that'll do it. No base runners in the first 2 innings. And at the end of 2 is scoreless. Now to the third, and the bottom third for Boston. Now here is the lefty hitting third baseman, Travis Shaw. Shaw, Holt, and Hannigan. Lefty, righty against Pineda. And there's a strike. I had to interrupt myself before because we came to the end of the inning. You got to get the spots in, which is why we're here. There'll be an 0-1 to Shaw. He fouls it back. Anyway, what the Red Sox have done, they have a righty backup for Shaw and Aaron Hill, so they'll platoon. And if Chris Young ever comes back, he'll platoon with Holt in left field. Young's hurt, though.
Yeah.
He's not getting better, as someone told me. Shaw's at 269, 9 homers, 48 RBIs. Good numbers. Pitch, half swing and a breaking ball. Did he go? He did. Shaw struck out, 1 away.
Adorama Yankees Trivia brought to you by Adorama, the official electronics retailer of the New York Yankees radio network, online at Adorama.com. Which Red Sox player was the MVP of the 2008 All-Star game at the old Yankee Stadium? You don't really think of him as a Red Sox. He was there for a few years.
Brock Holt's at 258. 4 homers, 22 RBIs. Smallish left-hand hitter, line drive type hitter. And Pineda deals strike. A lot is made over Pineda's slider. Will it have depth? In other words, does it go down the way it's supposed to? And that last pitch to Shaw that struck him out, that went down. So maybe he's got that feel tonight. An 0-1 to Holt. And he takes low, 1-1.
Holt is one of those guys that other players say he makes things happen. He can play anywhere. And John Farrell said in spring training, the guys who play the best are going to play. He did that with Travis Shaw and with Holt.
1-1 is outside. Yeah, you forget that Sandoval was the third baseman. And he looked in terrible shape, and they put him on the DL right away, and Shaw's been the third baseman. And now they have Aaron Hill to back him up. It's pretty good. And
don't forget Rusney Castillo, who they paid a fortune for out of Cuba, and they waived him.
The 2-1. There is a strike. Good fastball by Pineda, 2-2.
They had thought if things had worked out, it would be in some order Castillo, Betts, and Jackie Bradley Jr. somewhere in there, and Castillo couldn't hit at all. And they took a chance. They paid him a lot of money, and they just released him. The
2-2. Strike 3 is called. Fastball at the knees. 2-away, and the 4th strikeout for Pineda. So far, so good for Michael. Swing by Route 23 Ford in Butler, New Jersey, and check out Ford's all-star lineup of great new cars and trucks. For great deals on Ford cars, trucks, SUVs, and crossovers, visit TriStateFord.com.
And Holt just stood and looked down. I think he thought it was low. It certainly wasn't outside. Certainly got a lot of the plate.
Here's the catcher. And the pitch to Ryan Hannigan is outside. He's a right-hand hitter. He's the only guy who doesn't hit. He's 14 for 75. That's 189. With no homers and 12 RBIs. They have two veterans as their catching core right now. Pitch is fouled away. And the other guy you can't explain, Sandy Leon, who doesn't have enough at bats to qualify, but is hitting .455, which doesn't make sense. But anyway, they're out of options, both Leon and Hannigan, so they sent Christian Vasquez down. And they sent Swihart down, too. Here's the 1-1 to Hannigan. And the pitch low outside, 2-1.
Not only did they send down Swihart, he's playing in the outfield. Playing left field. I was told he was really athletic, could play also second base if they needed him to do that. But he's been playing the outfield at Pawtucket.
Here's the 2-1. And that's low outside, 3-1. Isn't it odd about baseball? Pineda breezes through the first 8 guys, strikes out 4 of them, and now the only guy who doesn't hit in the lineup, he's 3-1.
It is odd, isn't it?
Baseball's odd, yes. So it'll be a 3-1 to Hannigan. And he swings, and it's a long drive to deep left. Gardner going back. He's on the track. He's at the wall, and she is gone. So a 3-1 pitch, a damage pitch, and Hannigan, who hadn't had a home run, does damage. Don't tell me you know baseball. Nobody knows baseball. So Hannigan homers, and Boston takes a 1-0 lead.
If that isn't the strangest thing you've ever seen. Now, Hannigan has been on the DL. He's been off. He has not been hitting, and it is July 15th. That was his first home run of the year. It's unbelievable. You make a bad pitch to a major league hitter that was thigh high right on the inside part of the plate.
So Hannigan homers, and it's 1-0. So I think I'm repeating myself. So Pineda retires the first 8 hitters, all of whom are excellent hitters, every one of them, and then gives up a home run to Hannigan. Well, it was the product of the count. It was 3-1. Didn't want to walk him. Threw a fastball over the plate. It was head out, and the Yankees trail 1-0. That's something. I want to know the person who would figure that would happen. Well, here is Mookie Betts, robbed of a hit by Teixeira his first time. There's a fastball strike. Hannigan now has 1 homer and 13 RBIs. There's the 0-1. Pitch is low. Now, here is Pineda's 1-1. Swung on and chopped toward third. It's a base hit. Headley does pick it up. It was a swinging bunt. Betts is very fast. No chance. I'll tell you one thing about Pineda, who gives up a home run to a guy who shouldn't hit a home run off him, and then that's a dribbler. That wasn't Pineda's fault. He had a swinging bunt. But he better stop it right here, because the big guys are coming up, and this game could get out of hand, because sometimes Pineda has a problem finishing what he started. He's got 2 outs in Pedroia.
12-game hitting streak now for Mookie. Brian Hannigan, by the way, last home run was August 19th of last year. 115 at-bats without a home run.
Now here's the pitch to Pedroia. Betts goes, and the pitch is fouled off. On the count 0-1.
And we want to thank the great official scorer, Mike Shalin, for the Boston Red Sox, who just texted me to tell me that Blake Swihart is hurt. He's got a bad ankle sprain. Not only is in AAA, he's got a bad ankle sprain. Thank you, Mike. We'll see you in a few weeks. Amazing, the reach of our broadcast. Why isn't he listening to his own broadcast?
I don't think I'll answer that. There'll be an 0-1 to Pedroia. And Pineda deals a breaking ball, missed outside. 1-1. 2 outs, a runner at first. The home run, Pineda could have helped. The swinging bunt, he couldn't do anything about, a dribbler. But he really has to stop Boston here The Yankees are going to have trouble enough scoring off Stephen Wright. That'll be a 1-1 to Pedroia. And a throw to first base. Betts has stolen 15 out of 16. You know, I don't want to jump all over an obvious fact, but this is the most varied offensive team. They have lefty hitters, they have righty hitters, they hit home runs, they have high batting averages, they drive in a lot of runs, and they also run. And usually I write down stolen bases for maybe 2 or 3 guys. The only people who run pitch is high 2-1. But with Boston, I had to write them down for a lot of people. Betts has stolen 15 out of 16. Pedroia, 5 out of 6. Bogarts, 11 out of 14. Ramirez, 7 out of 9. Bradley, 7 out of 8. Shaw, 4 out of 5. Holt, 3 out of 3. I mean, they don't run, but they make it. They run in a good percentage. Here's the 2-1 to Pedroia. And there's a strike. Good fastball, outside corner. Nailed the outside corner, 2-2.
And one of the things about Pineda, he can lose it, so it would behoove him to get Pedroia right here. And then 1-0 you can deal with. But the problem with Pineda is that sometimes it upsets him and he lets a big inning happen.
Well, you see it all the time.
And you know what else you see it with? You see it with 2 outs all the time.
So it'll be a 2-2. First to throw over to check on Betts.
You notice that?
Yes.
2 outs all the
so.
time. Evaldi, the same thing. So much damage with these 2 guys happens with 2 outs every single time.
Betts with a good lead off first. And it'll be a 2-2 to Pedroia. Dribbled right back to Pineda, who flips to first to end the inning. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. At the end of 2.5, 1-0 Boston on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network driven by Jeep.
What famous American has covered more territory than any other? Hit.
The Red Sox have a 1-0 lead. Here's Didi to lead it off. A left-hand hitter against Wright. And the fastball is high. He does throw other pitches, and that was one of them. He threw it high and away. Didi at 298. 11 homers, 41 RBIs, having a terrific year. The 1-0 is kind of missed 1-1.
And here's the answer to today's trivia question, brought to you by Adorama, the official electronics retailer of the New York Yankees radio network, online at Adorama.com. Which Red Sox player was the MVP of the 2008 All-Star Game at the old Yankee Stadium? He had a brother who played here very recently.
1-1. God, I missed. I think I know. I didn't know he was the MVP, but I just figured that out.
Well, you kind of forget that he was even a Red Sox player. He didn't make a lot of impact.
He didn't do very well. I wonder why he made the All-Star team.
He must have done well enough to make the All-Star team.
Well, maybe I'm wrong in who I think. But I think.
Played right field?
I think. There is the 1-2. Half swing. Did he go? He did. 1 away. Didi strikes out. J.D. Drew?
Yep. I think the brother comment really sort of gave it to you, right?
Yes. Oh, I had no idea. I had no idea he made the All-Star team. He didn't have very good years with Boston.
No, he wasn't well liked.
When Dustin Pedroia grounded out back to the mound to end the top of the third, that was the 15th out of the game, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Call Geico at 1-800-947-AUTO or visit them at geico.com. Starlin Castro, a right-hand hitter, takes a pitch high and off the glove. I can't tell you how many pitches have glanced off the glove of Hannigan. Knuckleballs are tough to catch, but maybe Hannigan isn't concentrating, because it doesn't really matter if there's no one on base. People on base makes it a difference. Castro swings and lifts a fly ball down the right field line. Betts in pursuit, and in the corner, he did. It was a foul ball. He made the catch. He disappeared from our view. I was not looking at a monitor. He disappeared from our view and caught it right at the wall in foul territory, 2-way.
And he dealt with the wall, and he dealt with a fan with a Yankee shirt on with his own glove. That's a terrific play by Mookie Betts. That's terrific play. That's a very tough play to make.
Castro was at 256. 10 homers, 31 RBIs. Here's Headley. He's at 255, 7 homers, 27 RBIs. And the pitch is high, knuckler. Headley switcher to batting left. So Wright has retired the first 8 men. This is exactly where Pineda was. He fell behind 3-1, and Hannigan homered. And there's a strike in the count, 1-1. The 1-1 grounded to first. Hanley Ramirez steps on the bag. That ends the inning. 9 up and 9 down, retired by Wright. At the end of 3 innings of play, 1-0 third in the league in hitting. And then Hanley Ramirez. Boston has a 1-0 lead on the solo home run by Ryan Hannigan. Here's Bogarts, who grounded to third his first time, and he takes a Pineda pitch inside, 1-0.
Scoreboard update is brought to you by New York Presbyterian. Amazing things are happening here. Still 1-0. Detroit over Kansas City, top of the third. They're in Detroit. Ian Kennedy against Justin Verlander.
1-0. There's strike on the inside corner.
Tampa Bay still batting in the bottom of the second. They lead Baltimore 2-0. Yvonne Gallardo and Chris Archer hooking up in Tampa Bay. Later on, Cleveland's at Minnesota. Carlos Carrasco against Irvin Santana.
And here's the 1-1. And it's foul tip. 1-2.
White Sox are in Anaheim at 10. Miguel Gonzalez against Hector Santiago. It'll be Marcus Stroman against Daniel Megden, as Toronto is in Oakland, and Houston's at Seattle. Doug Fister against James Paxton.
Early on, I'd say that Pineda's fastball has been, his location's great on the corners, and his slider has depth. Here's the 1-2, and it's hit soft line drive to Headley, 1 away. And as far as the home run he gave up, well, we've been through that. A 3-1 pitch, and he kind of grooved a fastball and paid for it. So 1 away, and here's Ortiz.
Juan Lagares had his third homer of the season, and the Mets lead Philly 1-0, top of the fourth. Bartolo Colon against Jeremy Hellickson. No score. Pittsburgh's at Washington, bottom of the fourth. Francisco Liriano against Steven Strasburg, who's going for win number 13.
And most importantly, has no losses.
That's right. 12-0, 2.62 ERA.
Here's Big Poppy, and Pineda deals. There's a strike on the outside corner.
Milwaukee leading Cincinnati 1-0, bottom of the third, in Cincy. Matt Garza against Anthony DeSclafani. Carlos Gonzalez RBI single in the top of the first, and Colorado leads Atlanta, down in Atlanta. They're in the bottom of the first, as I said, 1-0 there. Jorge De La Rosa against Lucas Harrell. Miami's at St. Louis at 8:15. Dodgers in Arizona. Bud Norris against Patrick Corbin, and San Francisco's at San Diego.
0-1, caught on a miss. There's the slider down and in. I was right. Ortiz is second, Bogarts is third in hitting. Altuve of Houston is first.
In his last 6 games against the Yankees, he was 8 for 24 with 5 home runs. Pretty good for a year.
The 0-2 is low 2-2.
He's homered against the Yankees 52 times. 5th all-time, tied with Carl Yastrzemski for 5th. 51 times with Boston, so he must have homered once when he was a Twin.
He looks at 3 infielders on the right side, and the 1-2. Fastball high, 2-2.
96-mile-an-hour fastball up, trying to get him to go a little bit off the plate.
Here's Pineda's 2-2. Fastball high, 3-2. 1 out, no one on. We're in the top of the fourth. Boston has a 1-0 lead. Here is Pineda's payoff pitch, and it's fouled off at home plate. I wouldn't bore you with all the numbers. It's just filling time. But I did read this. That's why I know it. And Boston is leading the American League in every offensive category you can think of. I mean, batting average and runs scored and homers. And
they have more homers than Baltimore?
No, Boston.
No, they have more homers than Baltimore?
Oh, I'm sure they do. I'll have to look at that up.
Let's look.
Now, here's the 3-2 to Ortiz. Foul, third base side out of play. But you name the category.
Okay.
Baltimore is one. Oh, Baltimore has a lot more homers, 34 more homers. They're not in the top in home runs, but they are in the top in the runs scored. Here's the payoff. Swung on and drilled to right field, and it is caught on the run by Beltran as he went to the corner. He caught it about a step in front of the track. So they're a two-way. The top of the fourth inning brought to you by Domino's Pizza, the official pizza of the Yankees radio network. Now 2-8, here's Hanley Ramirez. Thus far, the only mistake Pineda made was Hannigan. The single by Betts was a swinging bunt, a dribble. Now 2-8, Hanley, a right-hand hitter, takes a pinch hit side 1-0. Of course, one thing about the Yankees, they have to get a man on base. So far, 9 up and 9 down against Stephen Wright. Ramirez grounded a second his first time. And Pineda deals breaking ball strike. Good breaking ball. That was more curve than slider, maybe a slurve. So Ramirez steps out for a moment with a count of 1-1. 2 outs, no one on top of the fourth. 1-0 Boston.
His whole key is those breaking pitches, whatever it is, whether it's the slider or that slurve.
Pitch. Swung on and hit foul deep down the right field line. So the count 1-2. 10-second station ID now on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network.
Muhammad Wilkerson has a jet contract extension. Phil Mickelson, 1 stroke over Henrik Stenson at the British, and Steve Summers after the Yanks. WFAN, WFAN-FM, New York.
John Sterling Susan Walman, Yankee Stadium, before either a sellout or near sellout crowd. Just about 1-0 Boston, top of the fourth, 2 outs, no one on, and the 1-2 to Ramirez is a bouncer. And the count 2-2. There's no question this is the make or break time. If you're listening to the broadcast somewhere far away from the metropolitan area, that's what all the newspapers, talk shows, everything's about. These 10 days. Will the Yankees then become buyers if they're in the race, or sellers if they're not in the race? And they have 10 tough games. Well, you got to win them. The 2-2 is a breaking ball in the dirt, 3-2. Here's the payoff. Struck him out swinging, breaking ball. That also was ball 4. So strikeout number 5. Well, as the Yankees come to bat in the bottom of the fourth inning, they're without a base runner. The Red Sox have a 1-0 lead. The Red Sox only have 2 base runners. One was a home run. Here's Gardner, the leadoff hitter, to lead off. And takes a knuckler for a strike. Gardner fly to left his first time. Pitch is grounded right in front of the plate. Easy out as Hannigan throws to first, 1 away. You know, one thing I do want to say about Wright and the way he's pitched. First of all, he's retired all 10 men he's faced, so you can't pitch better than that. But the Yankees haven't hit the ball hard yet. I'm looking down at my scorecard, trying to remember the outs, and there has not been a hard out yet. Well, 1 away. Here's Ellsbury.
The thing about Wright, he's been around a long time. He was the Indians' first second-round pick in 2006. He's going to be 32 in August. So he's been around up and down a long time.
Here's Ellsbury. And he bunts and misses the bunt. Now the count 0-1.
What do you think happened? Just
I don't know.
Clicked in at 30? It's weird.
Well, there have been knuckleball pitchers who have become better pitchers when they're older. I have no idea why. But that's true of a lot. The 0-1 is line foul, third base side out of play. Ellsbury hit a soft fly to left. Gardner hit a soft fly ball to left. Beltran struck out. McCann popped up to the first baseman. Teixeira hit a fly ball to left, soft. A-Rod hit a ground ball to short. Didi struck out. Castor with that foul fly that Betts caught against the sidewall. Here is the 0-2. And strike three is called two-away. Headley grounded to first. Gardner, as you know, hit a topper right in front of the plate. And Ellsbury strikes out. So they haven't hit the ball hard yet against Wright. So however Pineda's pitching, he better continue.
Well, Wright had decided in 2013 when he went over to the Red Sox that if he didn't get put on the 40-man roster, he was going to move on with his life. He had just gotten married and he was having a baby on the way, and the Red Sox did put him on the roster.
Here's Beltran, and it pitches high. I just seem to recall, I'm probably wrong on some of them, but Hoyt Wilhelm and Wilbur Wood and the two Negroes and Wakefield, they all didn't achieve it big until their later years pitch. And it's hit foul down the right field line, and Pedroia fell down. And Betts made the catch in back of him. Pedroia fell down, and Betts made the catch. And that's the end of the inning. So he's retired 12. That means it's time for the Newsday fifth. Jackie Bradley takes a pitch inside. Newsday fifth. Here is Yankees beat writer Eric Boland of Newsday, the official news and sports content partner of the New York Yankees radio network. Bradley, a left-handed hitter, grounded to second his first time. And the pitch is grounded weakly foul outside of first. Well, this is not exactly genius, Eric, but Pineda's pitching terrific. He's down 1-0, and you know what? He better continue to pitch terrific the way the Yankees are hitting against Wright.
Yeah, you know, Wright is other outing against the Yankees this year, 3-hitter, and Yankees didn't score until Gardner's 2-out home run in the 9th inning.
Here's the 1-1. Cut on him.
But with Pineda today, the slider has been very good, and that was something Joe Girardi talking pregame to us about. Said that that's really what the key he feels for Pineda the second half of the season is consistency with the slider, which just wasn't there in the first half.
Yeah, if you want to feel good about something, it's that as Pineda deals 1-2 to Bradley, half swing, did he go? I guess not. 2-2. This team is the Red Sox. They're a terrific hitting team up and down the lineup. Hey, if he can pitch that way against them, he can pitch that way against other teams, don't you think?
You would think. But that's really been the whole conundrum with him this year, is that you see spurts where you're like, boy, that's a top-of-the-rotation guy, and then obviously a 5+ ERA. Other outings, not so much.
Pitch is low. You're absolutely right, and you could include Eovaldi in that as well.
No question, and Joe Girardi said before today's game that Eovaldi will be back in the rotation starting on Tuesday, so his banishment to the bullpen lasted really one turn in the rotation.
Does that mean they don't think that Chad Green is ready for the majors?
Here comes the 3-2 to Bradley. Lefty hitter with power. And Pineda deals low. So Bradley walks, the first walk of the game. I'm sure you'll hear about that later.
Susan, I think it's a case of Chad Green in the start that he took in Eovaldi's place, gave up 4 home runs in Cleveland against a much better lineup, obviously, than the one he shut down in San Diego. And also, Nathan Eovaldi's 26 years old, throws 98, 99 miles an hour, has shown snippets periodically in his time with the Yankees where he's been very good, and I just think that that's an arm the Yankees don't want to give up on yet. And with him being only 26, I wouldn't give up on it either. So I think it's a combination of Green probably didn't show he was quite ready yet, and they're not going to give up on Eovaldi quite yet.
Left-hand hitting Travis Shaw is in. Bradley leads off first, and the pitch is low. Bradley has stolen 7 out of 8. Now, as I said, do they run? But they make it on a very high percentage.
And when Pineda walked Jackie Bradley Jr., that was the first walk of the game. Just walk into any of City MD's convenient locations. They're open every day. Need a doctor? Just walk in.
Bradley leads, and Pineda deals and is dribbled foul at home plate. Well, to go on with what you and Susan were talking about. All right, Eovaldi's in the starting rotation. Did you see what Shaw, have him on my mind, Chad Green did in his last start?
He was terrific.
Yeah, he gave up 1 hit, no walks in 8 innings. Maybe he's too good for that league. Don't you think he ought to pitch here in middle relief?
I think that, and that was another thing Girardi talked about. He covered a variety of topics, obviously, after being away for 4 days. But the Yankees struggling with those roles in the middle innings was a big topic.
Pitch is low, and it would seem to me that guys who throw like Green, and for that matter, Severino, throwing 1 inning, throwing their best fastball for 1 inning, I would think that they ought to take a run at that in middle relief. That's what I think.
Well, they put Eovaldi in that role for a week and a half when he was taken out of the rotation, and Girardi said it was partly because they had a need there. Well, if that's the case, you still have that need there now that Eovaldi's going back into the rotation.
Sure do. 2-1. Breaking ball missed. 3-1 to Shaw.
See, here's what's troublesome to me about all that thinking. I've heard ad nauseum that you don't want to hurt Chad Green's development, or Severino, by the way, either by bringing him up here and not letting him pitch every 5 days as a starter. But isn't that telling people that we really don't care about this year? We're looking for the future?
I'll be a 3-1. First to throw to first. Bradley's back.
Well, and for all the talk about whether the Yankees are going to be buyers or sellers, and certainly the players want to keep the band together, and Joe Girardi doesn't want to manage a dead man walking team the second half, so he wants, as he said before the break, a home run to Hannigan, a 3-run pitch right down the middle.
Absolutely, a 3-1 pitch, 3-1 damage pitch. And it isn't that Pineda's given up 3 runs. It's that the Yankees don't have a base runner against right and haven't hit the ball hard. Here's Brock Holt, and he takes that side. I want to tell you something. Out of the corner of my eye, before the home run, the Yankee bullpen got up. So someone's thinking right along with us. Here's the 1-0, and there's a strike. I didn't know who the guy was. I don't see him now, but someone got up just before the home run.
Well, that was Andrew Miller, who in the 5th inning gets up and does his exercises, and now he's gone back into the thing. Joe Girardi was talking to me. The score could be 14-2. In the 5th inning, Andrew Miller gets up to see if he's okay.
1-1 is foul back. 1-2.
This keeps up, they won't need him tonight.
No. That 2-run home run by Shaw is so damaging. If it's 1-0 and there's a knuckleball and you get on base, crazy things happen because of the knuckleball. I don't know if 3 runs happen. The 1-2 is low, 2-2.
Well, the one thing we know about the knuckleball pitchers is things can go south in a hurry. And if all of a sudden 1 or 2 get flattened out, walk, double, wild pitch, home run, and all of a sudden things change drastically.
Now here's the 2-2 to Holt, a left-hand hitter, and he grounds it foul at home plate.
Now, we have not seen any indication.
Nor has he done it all year.
Nor has he done it all year.
But just it is possible. I understand. He could also fall down the dugout steps. I get it.
What's the old saying? It's a theory anyway.
Yeah. You're an optimistic soul.
But Wright has been, and the interesting thing about his knuckleball, it's not the traditional big looping, 60, 65 mile an hour one like Phil Niekro. He's been anywhere at 69 to 82 tonight.
Pitch is cut on a miss. Good fastball away. So strikeout number 6 for Pineda. So there's 1 out, no one on. The Yankees are trailing 3-0 here in the 5th.
Fans come on out to the stadium Monday the 18th when the Yanks take on the Orioles. It's cap night. First 18,000 guests in attendance receive a Yankees cap courtesy of Cannon. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com.
So here's the home run hitter, Ryan Hannigan. Hit his home run also on a 3-1 pitch. And takes low 1-0.
You know, to talk about writing again, Eric, he's got that kind of late knuckler. It's not the big, as you said, a big looping one. It looks like it's coming in as a fastball, and then it kind of knuckles.
Pitch is grounded to short. Didi on a nice hop will throw across, and they're a 2-way.
And Susan, again, I was saying before, the interesting thing about his knuckleball, it doesn't, velocity-wise, always look the same. I've seen it as slow as 69 tonight, and we've also seen it at 83. Still doing the big dip at the end, which I would think for hitters is, well, obviously very difficult. He's been doing it all year to most teams, and did it to the Yankees once already this year.
Now 2-way to the top of the order. Here's Mookie Betts, the righty hitting leadoff hitter. And Pineda deals, swung on, and missed the count 0-1. Boston has a 3-0 lead on 2 home runs. A solo by Ryan Hannigan, that was in the third. And here in this inning, a 2-run home run by Travis Shaw. The 0-1 is low, 1-1.
What was the old Bobby Mercer line about hitting Phil Niekro like eating Jell-O with chopsticks?
And they're all so different. Tim Wakefield's is different than R.A. Dickey's, and Dickey's is different than Wright's.
1-1 is lined to right. And back is Beltran to make the catch. Susan, you just named another one that I did not name. R.A. Dickey got his fame really late in life. Well, Eric, I thank you, sir.
Thank you, John. Thanks, Susan.
2 runs, 1 hit. No.
Jamaica, New York is your home for low lease rates and great financing offers on the fantastic new lineup of Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. See why they're the total package at your local Ford dealer now, or visit tristateford.com.
Well, the Yankees come to bat in the bottom of the 5th inning. Trailing 3-0. And to make matters worse, they have not had a base runner yet against Steve Wright. Here's Brian McCann. And there's a strike. I don't think he's ever been to a 3-ball count. I don't remember it. I honestly don't think he's been to a 3-ball count. That's amazing. What dominance. 12 up, 12 down. Here's the 0-1. And it's grounded foul at home plate. The clean, quiet efficiency of a durable Luxair air conditioning system will keep you cool all summer long. So go to LuxairCares.com. That's LuxairCares.com. Here's the 0-2 to McCann. Foul back. I really hate beating the proverbial fallen horse, but not only have the Yankees made out every man, 12 men, but they haven't hit the ball hard yet. So he's really been tough. Here is the 0-2. And that knuckler outside 1-2. 3 infielders on the right side. The 1-2 is grounded foul. You know, we were mentioning about all these knuckleballers, many of whom haven't really made it till late in their career. There may be another reason for it. Managers, I guess GMs too, sometimes are loath to have a knuckleballer. Here's the 1-2. Pitch is hot. We know it's tough to hit, but you know, I've heard people complain, well, you can't get anyone to catch it. And you get all these pass balls, and you get walks, and then they move up on. Anyway, so sometimes there's a little bias against knuckleballers. Pitch is low, and then no pitching coach knows how to teach it.
Well, the interesting thing, R.A. Dickey, for one, R.A. Dickey was a big first-round pick of the Rangers, and Buck and Mark Connor were manager and pitching coach, and they said, you know, your fastball's straight, you're not going to make it.
3-2 is cut on him. So McCann strikes out, 1 away.
And it was actually Mark Connor who suggested that he try a knuckleball, And I don't know who taught it to him. I don't know if Connor did or if they called Charlie Huff, who's in Texas. Who knows what they did. But R.A. Dickey owes his career to Buck Showalter and Mark Connor.
And there's another one you mentioned, Charlie Huff.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, one away.
And the guy in Houston, the announcer.
Steve Sparks.
Yeah.
One away. Here is Teixeira. And he fouls it back 0-1.
But I was told Wright was more successful this year because he's pulled back on his velocity. He wanted to try and throw harder like R.A. Dickey, and he was almost impossible to catch and lost control.
1-1 is high, and the count 1-1.
Because R.A. Dickey can throw pretty hard. He can throw that fastball in the mid-80s if he wants to. But whatever it is, we're in the fifth inning. He's going to hit 50 pitches right now.
1-1, a high pop in the infield near third. There is Bogaerts to make the catch, and there are two away. It is amazing. The Yankees have sent up 14 men outside 1-0. But even though he gave up the 2 home runs, this is how you want Pineda to pitch. And he has the ability to do it. Pedroia has struck out and grounded out. There'll be a 1-0. And there is a strike, 1-1.
Scoreboard update brought to you by Bigelow, New York's hot tea of choice. Let's see what's brewing around the league. Still 1-0 Detroit over Kansas City, top of the fifth. Only scoring Ian Kinsler's leadoff home run, his 17th.
1-1 is lined to left field. There's a base hit. Gardner tore the line to cut it off and throw back in. So Pedroia's on with a leadoff single.
Bottom of the fourth in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has a 3-1 lead over Baltimore. Pedro Alvarez hit his 10th homer of the season, solo shot in the third. Yovani Gallardo against Chris Archer. Minnesota leads Cleveland 1-0. They're in the top of the seventh. Everything else later in the American League. National League, 6-0 Cubbies all over Texas. Kyle Hendricks beats Martin Perez.
So Pedroia off first, and here is Xander Bogaerts. He's 0 for 2. A right-hand hitter. And the pitch low outside, 1-0.
Juan Lagares has his third homer of the year. Mets lead Philly 1-0, top of the sixth. They are in Philadelphia. All tied up Pittsburgh and Washington, 1 apiece, top of the sixth in Washington. All tied up Milwaukee and Cincinnati, 1 apiece, top of the fifth in Cincy. Colorado leading Atlanta 5-0, bottom of the third. Everything else later.
Here's the 1-0. And then the pitch low, 2-0.
Jason Shreve has just gotten up in the Yankee pen. As Pineda's next pitch will be his 90th. Even if he's okay, that Joe and I think the Yankees think that Pineda loses effectiveness third time around the lineup, and this is it.
Well, here's the 2-0 to Bogaerts. There's a breaking ball strike, 2-1. Big Papi, the on-deck hitter. Pedroia, a short lead off first, and the pitch is caught on him. And the count 2-2. Another good breaking ball by Pineda. Pineda has struck out 6, walked 1. Unfortunately, the walk came in front of the second home run, so Boston has a 3-0 lead. It'll be a 2-2 to Bogaerts. And the pitch is hit hard but foul outside of third. So the count holds at 2-2. Yankee infield and outfield about straight away for Bogarts. And the pitch is swung on and hit in the air to left field and deep. Gardner going back, looking up. That ball is gone. It is a 2-run home run deep in the lower deck and left. Xander Bogarts hits a 2-run home run. His 11th home run. He has 58 RBIs. And the Red Sox take a 5-0 lead.
And this is number 11 for Xander Bogart. It is 57th and 58th RBIs. And this is really something. 3 home runs allowed by Michael Pineda. Let's see where this one is. You know what? It's the same, almost the same pitch, except this one is up. It's all been location of that. It's in, but it doesn't get in far enough. And here comes Joe. Michael Pineda hearing some boos as he leaves. And this call to the bullpen is brought to you by your Tri-State face, the lefty David Ortiz.
Now Shreve to Poppy. And the pitch is low. Pineda goes 5 innings plus. Gets no one out here in the 6th. Gives up 5 runs, 5 hits, 3 home runs for the 5 runs. 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. And the 1-0. There is a breaking ball strike to Ortiz. So they bring in the lefty Shreve here in the 6th inning. There's no one out. It's as if he started the 6th. Here is the 1-1 to Big Poppy. And there's a strike on the outside corner. A 2-run home run by Shaw, his 10th. A 2-run home run by Bogarts, his 11th. And the solo shot by Ryan Hannigan, his 1st. And those are the 5 Boston runs. Here's the 1-2. I don't know how you'd categorize it, Susan. He actually pitched terrific. You could say, well, he made 3 mistakes. But, you know, if you pitch, you're going to make mistakes. And it's almost impossible to put the ball where you want on every pitch. I guess you have to give Boston the credit. And it'll be a 2-2. And it's grounded foul outside of first.
Well, his numbers have always been so peculiar, and we've talked about this since he got beaten up in Colorado. That's where he struck out all kinds of guys and gave up home runs. And because he's got swing and miss stuff. That's why it's such a puzzlement, and that's why everybody is puzzled. Larry Rothschild is. Joe Girardi, you asked for an explanation, and he says location, but you can't even fathom it. He's got such great stuff.
2-2. Swung on and lined to the gap in right center field. There's a base hit. That will go to the right center field wall. Ortiz heads for second, and now he comes back. One thing he doesn't do is run. But a lot of times he doesn't have to. So it's a line drive in the gap that goes to the wall. But you know what? He decided, also they have a 5-0 lead. Where's he going? So he's at first with no one out. Still no one out. And that will bring up Hanley Ramirez.
Well, that's who Chasen Shreve was brought in to get, was David Ortiz. And that's why they sent him down after he was injured to try and get that slider in place. And when the lefty turns on it like that and goes to center field, it's not where you want it to be. And this is his job, getting the lefties out.
And that ball really was hit hard. Boy, was that pasted. Pasted, I say. Here's Hanley Ramirez. And the breaking ball is there for a strike. Well, he only has one more right-hand hitter. That's Ramirez. And then 3 more lefties in a row. But the reason how Boston gets away with it is because they score so many runs. It's very simple. You know, Boston has a 5-0 lead. And Shreve will deal 0-1. And there is a strike. Wendy's Fruit Tea Chillers, made with organic, honest, tropical green tea. Oh, you wouldn't want dishonest tropical green tea. Hand-shaken together with real fruit purees and juices. Come in and try our blueberry pineapple or orange mango at participating Wendy's for a limited time. The 0-2 backdoor breaking balls outside 1-2.
David Ortiz having a long conversation with Mark Teixeira. Poppy's doing all the talking. And they've been talking since he got on first base.
1-2 is grounded to first. Teixeira goes to second. There's one. Back to first. Not in time. A very slow hopper, but here's Teixeira. Excuse me for a minute as I slap myself around. Teixeira did the right thing because he got the lead run at second base. Wasn't really hit hard enough. So it is a 3-6 force.
They're showing on a monitor when they took Big Papi out of the All-Star game. Everybody came out of the dugout, all the American League stars, and hugging everybody. He said it was a great moment. He didn't expect it, and he didn't quite know what to do.
So 1 on, 1 out. Now Shreve faces nothing but lefties. Here's one of them, Jackie Bradley Jr. The Red Sox have a 5-0 lead. Now, if you have a 5-0 lead in the sixth, you're supposed to win that game. But their 5-0 lead is even bigger. And Shreve deals grounded foul. Why? Because I know I'm beating a fallen horse. The Yankees haven't hit the ball hard yet. Not one hard hit ball in 5 innings. They have a base runner. Alex Rodriguez had what is called a swinging bunt. I mean, he swung as hard as he could, and the ball dribbled off his back up the third baseline. And that's it. That's it. No walks, nothing else. Nothing, honey. The 0-1 is high, 1-1. The Yankees have sold the place out. If it's not a sellout, it's the next best thing. And the fans, frankly, a little quiet, a little let down by tonight. Now it'll be a 1-1 to Bradley. The pitch cut on him. Missed. 1-2.
Jackie Bradley's a great story. He's the reason why you don't totally give up on a young player. Because it took him the better part of 2 years to turn into this Jackie Bradley, the All-Star. And he kept going down to Pawtucket and hitting and playing great defense. And finally it all clicked. He's Chili Davis's prized pupil, hitting coach.
Here is Shreve's 1-2 to Bradley. Swung on, hit in the air to left. Gardner going back on the track. He makes the catch on the track. Back to first goes Ramirez, and they're a 2-way. No, 2 down, and here's one of the homer hitters, Travis Shaw.
John started to mention earlier on, spring training, John Farrell said it was a competition, and Travis Shaw took the job away from Pablo Sandoval, absolutely took it away. And now he's fading a little bit.
And pitches inside. And so Dave Dombrowski went out and got a right-hand hitting counterpart. Aaron Hill's a good hitter and a strong hitter. He'll do very well at Fenway. Anyway, they have a platoon at third if they choose. There'll be a 1-0 to Shaw. And Hanley Ramirez, the runner at first with 2 out. But a 2-run home run in this inning by Xander Bogaerts has given Boston a 5-0 lead. And breaking ball low, 2-0. Here's Shreve's 2-0. And a breaking ball strike, 2-1 to Shaw. Shreves 2-1 in the dirt, 3-1.
From now until the end of the month, the place is just teeming with scouts. Advanced scouts, scouts looking at different players on different teams. John and I were having dinner, and Steve Balboni, who's the advanced scout for the Giants, came in. And the Giants are doing this whole East Coast trip, John. They're going to Baltimore, Boston, and New York.
3-1 is low. So Shaw walks. The Yankees play here tomorrow at 4. I guess that's a Fox game, right? Is that what that means? Mm-hmm. So we're on the air about 3:30 and about 4:10 play-by-play. CC's pitching, right? CC's pitching, I think, against a lefty named Eduardo Rodriguez.
And they just brought back from Pawtucket. It's FS1, which isn't real Fox. It's
Fox Sports 1.
Fox Sports 1.
Brock Holt is the hitter, a lefty hitter, and he takes a pitch low.
And then Sunday, it'll be Tanaka against David Price.
And that's one of our favorites, the ESPN Sunday night game.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're all rested from All-Star break.
Runners lead first and second with 2 out. And the pitch is hit high in the air down the left field line. Gardner coming toward the sidewall, and he runs out of room. Just went over the sidewall into the seats. So the count 1-1.
Nick Goody has just gotten up in the Yankees' pen. And you know, they also claimed another infielder, Michael Martinez, infielder and outfielder. They claimed him, great defensive player, doesn't hit much, but claimed him off of the Indians roster. The Indians tried to sneak him through waivers, and they couldn't do it, and the Red Sox picked him up, so he's there too. Give the other guys a rest if needed.
Here's the 1-1 to Holt. Runners lead first and second, 2 out. Pitch, strike, fastball, 1-2. We saw Michael Martinez 1 year a lot with the Phils in spring training.
Mm-hmm. And we play like 20 times during spring training across the causeway.
Here's Shreves 1-2 to Holt, and the pitch low 2-2. Ramirez is at second. Shaw is at first. There are 2 outs. Boston has a big fat 5-0 lead here in the 6th.
You notice how many pitchers have trouble with 2 strikes? And every time you look up and someone has trouble putting them away, I look up and there's 2 strikes.
Well, here's a 2-strike pitch, 2-2 to Holt, and it's in the dirt, blocked by McCann, 3-2. You know, we describe Yankee Stadium, and rightly so, as being majestic, because there are 5 tiers, and then they have grandstand and bleachers on either side of the bullpens. It's just a great look. Well, tonight it looks phenomenal. Of course, all ballparks and arenas look great when they're filled. It's so majestic. It's so big. And everyone is here hanging on it with all the lights of the scoreboard and the message boards and all. It's a great look. Not a great look for the Yankees tonight because they're down 5-0. Well, the runners will be going. Ramirez from second, Shaw from first. And here's the payoff. And it's low. Ball 4. So his job is to get lefty hitters out, and he walked 2 of them. They're 3 in a row. So the base is loaded, 2 out. And Larry Rothschild will go to the mound. He wants to consult with Chase and Shreve and Brian McCann. And now he goes back to Larry Rothschild, who was halfway out.
Does that count as a consultation?
No, I think you have to cross the line. And here is a man who's going to cross that line. His name is Joe Girardi.
So that's not a consultation. It's a pitching change. So the consultation card goes back to Jack.
Right.
And this call of the bullpen is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 50. Sent Chad Green back down to AAA.
So Boston has him loaded up. Here's right-handed Ryan Hannigan, who homered off Pineda and then grounded to short. Boston a 5-0 lead. The men on base, a single and 2 walks. So they're Shreve's responsibility. And the pitch is hit high in the air to left. Gardner back, but well in front of the track. And he makes the catch to end the inning. For Boston, 2 runs, 3 hits. John Sterling, Susan Waldman back at Yankee Stadium, bottom of the 6th, 5-0 Boston. And Castro takes a knuckleball, goes back to the screen, and the count 1-0.
Recovery Room Health Update is sponsored by New York Presbyterian. Amazing things are happening here. Weird injury of the year. Rangers place left-handed pitcher Jake Diekman on the 15-day DL.
Pitch foul back.
He has a lacerated left index finger. How did he do it? Well, they were in Boston, and he went to Cheers and got a souvenir Cheers cup and put it in his bag. And when they got back, he went and reached in to get the cup, but the cup had broken, and he lacerated his middle index finger.
1-1. Swung on and line to center field as a base hit. Well, there's the first authentic hit. You hear the somewhat sarcastic round of applause. So, good start for the Yanks. Castro line to single to center. And here's Headley.
Kind of weird, huh? Weird.
I think it's weird, yes. Feel sorry for him. He did nothing wrong. Just reached into the cup. Headley grounded out in his sole appearance. And the pitch inside. That was a fastball. Yep. He throws, of course, it's a good thing to throw because it gets you ahead on the count usually. It'll be a 1-0. And the pitch foul back. Headley has 3 infielders on the right side. Now, to stop him from bunting for an automatic hit, Bogart's the only player on the left side, plays all the way up. He plays on the edge of the infield grass. I guess if Headley made a good enough bunt down third, it'd be a base hit because he's way off the line. He's playing, let's say, midway between third and second. Pitch is in the dirt, gets away. Oh, it hit him. It hit Headley. So the Yankees get a base runner, and now they have 2 on and no one out.
And this is their chance because, as R.A. Dickey once said, and I asked him, does it change from inning to inning? And he said it changes from pitch to pitch to feel it hit him right above the knee, right above that back knee, hit him flush. And I don't care if it's 70 miles an hour, still hurts when you get hit on the knee.
So 2 on, no one out. Here's Gardner.
First time all night the Yankees have had 2 runners on.
Right. Well, actually, coming into this inning, they only had 1 runner on base for the whole game.
I know. So it's the first time all game they've had 2.
Here's Gardner. He's 0 for 2. And that pitch is high. Jack corrected me, as is his wont. Tomorrow, we're on the air at 3:25 and play-by-play at 4:05. He had me by 5 minutes. Sunday, we're on the air at 7:25 and play-by-play at 8:05. It'll be a 1-0 to Gardner. And the pitch high. And let me tell you this, it's 2-0. If Gardner could work out a walk, well, that'd be phenomenal for the Yankees. They'd have the bases loaded, no one out, with Ellsbury, Beltran, and McCann coming up. He hasn't walked yet, though. The count's 2-0. Now the 2-0. There is a strike.
This must have, you hear the booing. I guess it must have just hit the outside corner.
I would have actually judged that to be too high over the letters. Anyhow, it's tough with the knuckleball. So it'll be a 2-1 to Gardner. And runners lead. And the pitch cut on and missed 2-2. Hey, fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Tuesday, July 19th, when the Yankees take on the Orioles. The first 25,000 guests in attendance will receive a Brett Gardner collectible cup, courtesy of Premio Foods. And for tickets, log on to Yankees.com. So a 2-2 coming to Gardy, with Castro at second, Headley at first, no one out in the sixth. And the pitch is way high. And the count 3-2. I don't know if it's true for the Red Sox, but for the Yankees, a very important pitch. They need base runners, and they're looking for ball 4. So the right-hander, Stephen Wright, will deal 3-2. Swung on, a fly ball to right center. Betts cuts over, and it's caught by Bradley behind him.
Wow. Little communication problem.
Yeah, I thought Betts had a much better shot at it. Bradley caught the ball very low near the ground. Betts was going by. Anyway, on the 3-2, he flies out. One away, and here is Beltran.
I have a question for you.
Ellsbury, excuse me.
We see these shifts all the time, and it's always where you place the ball and according to where the guy is going to hit, if he throws a yada yada, wherever he's going to. How do you do that with a knuckleball? Because he doesn't know where the ball is going.
I couldn't agree more with you. I don't know if I would overshift with a knuckleball.
That was my point, probably.
Now here's Ellsbury with 2 on and 1 out. Kind of a knee-jerk thing, I guess. And runners lead. And the pitch outside. I mean, it's 5-0 Boston. That's a heck of a rally. What the Yankees would like is one of these guys to walk and someone get a knuckleball that flattens out and you can hit it out, which does happen in knuckleballs.
It does.
There'll be a 1-0 to Ellsbury. And the pitch low inside as it dived low and in. And the count 2-0.
And he's wild enough now in this particular inning that it's really up to Hannigan to try and catch those balls, never mind framing to try and get a strike. You get a ball that goes back to the backstop, which also can happen. Everybody moves up.
Now here's the 2-0. And the pitch is hit deep, but foul. Sailing into the second deck. So the count 2-1 on Ellsbury.
And John, he threw him a fastball. That was 81 miles an hour. And trying to sneak one through, Ellsbury was just a little early on it.
Yeah, very good fastball to hit, too. Straight as an arrow. Of course, that's why he doesn't throw fastballs. Well, it'll be a 2-1 to Ellsbury. You've got Castro at second, Headley at first with 1 man out. And the 2-1, high 3-1. So again to a 3-ball count. Here's the 3-1. It's cut out, missed 3-2.
And that really must see that again. That really must have moved because it was right over the middle of the plate. And it was high. He swung under it by about a foot. It wasn't even a stripe above the letters.
Now here comes the payoff pitch. And it's high, ball 4. So the bases are loaded with 1 out. Well, the Yanks had 2 cracks at it with their 2 biggest power hitters, Beltran and McCann. And the bases loaded 1 out. And I think it's a pretty safe thing to say. The Yankees better do something in these 2 at-bats.
And the Red Sox pitching coach Carl Willis is headed to the mound to speak to Stephen Wright. This consultation of the mound is brought to you by Salino and Barnes. Call them today for a free consultation at 800-888-8888. Now, no one has started throwing yet in the Red Sox pen, but I do see movement out there.
So Carl Willis goes back. And the Yankees have Castro at third, Headley at second, Ellsbury at first. They all run okay. Ellsbury runs great. And here's Beltran. And the Yankees, I don't mean to hang the hat, but they need a big hit out of either Beltran or McCann. Or Beltran and McCann. Pitch is high 1-0. Remember now that it could be that Wright is losing a little bit because he went to a 3-ball count on Gardner as well. So what was automatic in the first 5 innings is not automatic anymore. Beltran has struck out and fly to right. And it's a high pop off the plate. Hannigan back, and it's back in the crowd. First base side of home plate. So the count 1-1.
Just saw Carl Willis on the phone, so someone is going to start to throw.
Bases loaded, one man out. There'll be a 1-1 to Carlos. And the right-hander deals up high 2-1. Whether he's trying to or how can you tell by the knuckler? But he has had pitches sail way up.
So Matt Barnes, the righty from Yukon, is up. Sometimes you just lose it. You talk to knuckleballers. They don't know why. It comes and it goes. Right now he has no control over it.
2-1. Hammered there over first down the right field line, kicking off the stands to right. 2 runs have scored. On to third goes Ellsbury. It's a 2-run base hit for Beltran. Yankees got a bad break because that ball going down the right field line did not go into the corner. It hit off the stands at Judd out, and it went right back to Betts. So it held Beltran to a single. It held Ellsbury at third, and the Yankees now send up the tying run. They trail 5-2.
And for Beltran, that was his 1,500th and 1,501 career RBI. So Carlos Beltran, what a career. 1,501 now career RBIs.
He now has 58 RBIs on the year. McCann is the tying run. But if that ball goes into the corner, Ellsbury scores and Beltran goes to second. And the Yankees would make it a little bit closer. Anyway, 5-2 Boston. First and third, one out. Here's McCann. He hits a ground ball. Stopped by Ramirez. Goes to short. One on to first. It's not in time, and the run scores. They didn't handle that well. If they handle it well, it's a double play, and the run doesn't score. But Ramirez threw low in the dirt to Bogarts, who took a moment to get it and throw it back, and even McCann beat it out. So give Bryan an RBI. Ellsbury scores, and the Yankees trail 5-3, and here's the tying run, Mark Teixeira.
Well, that was all on Hanley Ramirez, who really played that badly, as John said. He just sort of lobbed it over to shortstop. I'm not quite sure what he was doing, and he bounced it, but it was a little lob.
Yeah, the Yankees got a break. That's a run.
Yep.
Teixeira. It's a high pop toward third. Bogarts is there. Fair territory near third to make the catch and end the inning. However, the Yankees get off the deck and score 3 runs. They get 3 runs on 2 hits and leave 1. At the end, 3 straight right-hand hitters in the 7th. Mookie Betts takes a strike from Goody, 0-1. Yankees are trailing just 5-3.
Speed Report is brought to you by OD Household Services, self-moving services that deliver. Get a quote at odmove.com for your next move. No stolen bases tonight. Now, this situation here is exactly what Joe Girardi was talking about earlier today. The middle relief has got to hold this team right here. This Yankee team, the one thing that they have shown is that they do come back late in games. They don't give up. But if you let the other team add on runs, it's going to be a lot more difficult.
0-1. Swung on and hit in the air to deep left field. Gardner going back. As he hits the track, he makes the catch, 1 away. I would say this, Susan.
Yeah.
If they allow runs, it would make it impossible.
Yeah.
They've got to get 2 runs in the final 3 innings. So with 1 away, here is Dustin Pedroia. Nathan Eovaldi is in the Yankee bullpen.
This will be the last day that Eovaldi's in the bullpen. He will start on Tuesday.
Pitches outside. Sunday, Monday. So I guess you would say it's his throw day. Pedroia is 1 for 3 on the night. And the fastball is high, 2-0. The side homer, the Submariner, Brad Ziegler, late of Arizona's in the Red Sox bullpen. And here's the 2-0 to Pedroia. And there's a strike. Here's the in-game box score brought to you by RSM. Experience the power of being understood. For the Red Sox, 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors. For the Yanks, 3 runs, 3 hits, and no errors. Here's the 2-1. There, a strike on the outside corner fastball. Boston has 5 runs on 6 hits because they hit a solo homer, got a walk and a homer, and a single and a homer. So they certainly have made good use of their hits, which, frankly, is what happens when you hit home runs. There'll be a 2-2 to Pedroia. And the pitch, low 3-2. One of the homer hitters, there have been 3 of them, is on deck, Xander Bogaerts. The other 2 are Shaw and Hannigan. Now here's Goody's payoff pitch to Pedroia. Outside ball 4 through a slider. So Pedroia is on with 1 out, and here's Bogaerts. Bogaerts is grounded out, lined out to Headley, and then hit a 2-run bomberoo deep in the lower seats and left. Goody deals. There's a breaking ball low.
Just like the Red Sox teams of old, this group is very disciplined. They take a lot of pitches.
There'll be a 1-0 from Goody to the right-hand hitting Bogaerts. And the pitch is high. And the count 2-0.
And McCann going out to talk to Goodies. He's lost the strike zone there. Throws hard, 92, 93.
Yankees have 1 lefty in the middle innings. He's been used, Chasen Shreve. Now, they have other lefties. They have both Miller and Chapman, but you don't want to use them up in a losing game. So, Eovaldi is up. I would think Goody would not face Ortiz, but we'll see right after this battle. Now here's the 2-0. And there is a strike. Get out of the dugout and into the game with Brute antiperspirant and deodorant. Leave us on the field like in life. Why be a man when you could be the man? Brute, the essence of man. Here's the 2-1. Caught on a miss. Good slider down and away, 2-2.
When Goody has that slider working, he can be awfully good. He's just inconsistent, and that's like a lot of people. He's got good stuff. They like his stuff, and that's a terrific slider. That was a ball when it left his hand, but it looked like it might be a strike. As Joe Torre always said, it doesn't have to be a strike, that slider. It has to look like one.
Pitch is swung on and hit down the right field line. Beltran in pursuit, but it lands foul and just over the sidewall. Once they run into that corner, you have to look back at your monitor, which I did not do. Well, the count 2-2 remaining on Bogarts.
See that again. Beltran tried to stop his momentum by putting up that left leg against the wall. Looked like he jammed his leg a little bit into that wall.
Now here comes the 2-2. Throw to first, and back is Pedroia. Pedroia leads off first, the 2-2. Struck him out swinging fastball up, and they're a 2-away. Now let's see who pitches to Big Papi.
Well, it won't be Nick Goody because here comes Joe.
And if you're thinking, well, they're worried that Papi will hit one out and end the game, you're darn right they are. And that's the only reason there's a pitching change, because of the presence of Big Papi.
And this call of the bullpen is brought to you by the New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission, reminding you that if you're behind the 6 1/3 scoreless innings in 2 relief appearances, got his first win as a reliever. Last game he pitched.
Now here's Big Papi, and he swings and misses. Now the Yankees went through 2 of their middle 4, Shreve and Goody, but they bring in Evaldi to pitch to Ortiz. A right-handed behind him, and they're simply afraid that Ortiz would unload and the game would be over. It's 5-3 Boston. The Yankees certainly have a chance, down by 2, and the 0-1 is hit on the ground at first. The Sheriff Field steps on the bag, ends the inning. Both Evaldi and Goody did their job. No runs, no hits, 1 left. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, it's 5-3 Boston on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
The Sunoco Free Fuel 5000 is back, and that means it's time to get your decal, stick it on your ride, and get spotted at your local Sunoco. This year, 11 lucky drivers will win $5,000 in free fuel, and thousands more will instantly win $10 Sunoco gift cards when they get spotted with a decal at any Sunoco station. So get your decal and stick it on your ride. This could be your year to win the Sunoco Free Fuel 5000. Sunoco, proud to fuel the Yankees radio network. No purchase needed. U.S. residents 18 and up. Void where prohibited. Visit Sunoco for rules. Ends 8/31.
You're straddling a longboard, waiting for that 5th wave. And then it swells right behind you, lifting you higher and riding its curl. It's the perfect summer opportunity. The only opportunity sweeter than that is the Mercedes-Benz Summer Event, where you can grab the Mercedes-Benz of your dreams for less than you ever thought possible. Like the technologically advanced GLE, the supremely intelligent E-Class, or the beautifully refined C-Class. Right now, lease the 2016 C300 Sports Sedan for just $379 a month for 36 months with $4,533 due at signing. Take advantage of the Mercedes-Benz Summer Event before this perfect opportunity washes away.
Monthly lease payment is available only to qualified customers exclusively through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services at participating dealers through August 1st, 2016. Call 1-800-344-8736 for details about costs and terms.
Visit mbusa.com for offer details or to schedule a test drive at your nearest Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer.
Savino and Barnes, injury attorneys, 800-888-8888.
Don't wait. Call 8.
Manhattan, Garden City, Melville.
The Yankees-Red Sox rivalry series is presented in part by Celeste Pizza for One. Authentic pizza.
The side armor or submariner comes in. He'll face A-Rod first of all. It'll be Alex, then Didi and Starlin Castro. And the first pitch is grounded to first. Ramirez flips to Ziegler, one away.
And their closer, Craig Kimbrell, had an operation, and he's out 3 to 6 weeks, I believe it's a knee. And within 10 minutes, Dave Dombrowski went out and made a trade for Ziegler. He's not closing, but trying to fix that bullpen. Now everybody has to move up.
A little pat on the back for A-Rod. There were 3 infielders on the left side. I told you that. So they split Hanley Ramirez wide at first, and darn if the ground ball didn't go to him. That's just luck. Good luck, bad luck, who knows? In other words, if he hits the ground ball to the right side, closer to first, it's a hit, or closer to second, it's a hit. Here's Didi. Pitch is low. But anyway, what I'm complimenting A-Rod about is he did the right thing, trying to get on. He hit the ball to the weak side. Only one guy there, just unfortunate that's where the ball went. Didi is 0 for 2. And he hits a hot shot to second. Pedroia fields and throws to first, 2 away.
Now, the Red Sox are a little thin in their bullpen. No Kimbrell, no Tozawa. He just went on the DL. Uehara is still there. He's not the same as he was. So they're a little thin in that department.
Here are the pitching lines. I gave you Pineda. Shreve went 2/3 of an inning. No runs, 1 hit, no strikeouts, 2 walks. Goody went an inning, no runs, no hits, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. I gave you Wright. It's Wright for the win, Pineda for the loss. And here is Castro, and he grounds it foul. Castro was singled in 2 trips. Boston with a 5-3 lead. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning with 2 outs and no one on. And the 0-1 is grounded foul outside of third. Here's the power report brought to you by Indian Point Energy Center, the region's most reliable source of electric power. All the power on the Boston side. Hannigan a solo homer, his first. Shaw a 2-run home run, his 10th. And Bogart's a 2-run home run, his 11th. Those are the 5 Boston runs. McCann hit a 2-run single for 2 of the Yankee 3 runs. 0-2. Breaking balls outside. The other run scored on a ground ball. I'm wrong on that. Beltran had the 2-run base hit for 2 of the runs, and McCann scored the other with a ground ball. The 1-2 swung on. A little pop fly to second. Pedroia right there. Ziegler has a 1-2-3 inning. And at the end of 7 innings of play, 5-3 Boston on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by G. And out, so he stays in. And he'll face Ramirez, a right-hand hitter, then 3 lefties. And Evaldi deals a fastball in there for a strike. Red Sox have a 5-3 lead. I gave you the power report. And the power report brought to you by Indian Point Energy Center. Ramirez 0-for-3 on the night. He's a right-hand hitter. And Evaldi deals. There's a strike with that great fastball. That was 100 on the board. The count 0-2.
And the 2 pitches he threw to Big Papi were both 100 also.
So it'll be an 0-2. On the pitch outside, 1-2.
Scoreboard update powered by Lynx Grills, the official grill of the New York Yankees. Now let's see what's cooking around the majors. John Sterling, did you know when you asked me about Baltimore and Tampa, if you knew what happened?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, when I see a team like Baltimore that scores runs and they're down early, I always think they'll come back, and they have.
And they did.
Here's the 1-2. low 2-2. Also, I'd say Tampa's in a streak. They've lost 22 out of 25.
Well, it was 3-3 going into the top of the 8th, and Jonathan Scope just hit a solo homer off of Chris Archer, and Baltimore takes a 4-3 lead.
Their whole team hits, and he's becoming a big hitter, Jonathan Scope. Here is the 2-2. It's grounded weakly toward third. Headley has the bare hand. He can't come up with it. There's a base hit. Little topper. Swing and bunt, as they say. So there's a runner at first with no one out.
Bottom of the 7th in Detroit, 2-2 Kansas City and the Tigers. As I said, 4-3 Baltimore over Tampa Bay. They're in the top of the 8th. Also 2 apiece Cleveland and Minnesota, bottom of the 5th. Everything else in the American League later. 6-0 Cubs beat Texas. Addison Russell 2 for 4 and 2 RBIs. Mets now lead Philly 5-3. They're in the bottom of the 7th. Juan Lagares and Neil Walker have both homered for the Mets.
Now here's Jackie Bradley, a left-hand hitter, and the fastball is high, 1-0. What I meant by Scope becoming a big hitter, he's their second baseman, and he's taken a couple of years to get his feet on the ground. He's going to hit 20 home runs this year from their second baseman.
He's still awfully young, right? I don't think he's 24 yet.
Sure is. And there is the 1-0. And the pitch cut on it, missed. Here is the 1-1. Eovaldi throws to first. I think they might have 6 or 7 guys who are going to hit 20 home runs or more. Because a couple of them are going to hit 30 or more or 40 or more. They hit a lot of homers. Here is the 1-1 to Bradley, a left-hand hitter. Cut on him, missed 1 and 2.
You know, I was reading earlier today, some teams are already looking towards next year. Oakland had a big shakeup. They told Danny Valencia and Coco Crisp their playing time is going to be drastically reduced. They sent down Billy Burns because he was having a terrible year. They brought up a kid named Ryan Healy, who's a third baseman, and Jake Smolinski is going to play center.
Pitch is foul back. But isn't Valencia having a terrific year?
Yes, he is, but they're not going anyplace, which leads me to believe that Danny Valencia will, at some point in the near future, not be an Oakland A.
No, you're right. I agree. Because he was having a good year, and he's not an old guy at all.
But they're not going anywhere with him.
Oh, no. He will bring back a couple of prospects, no question. The 1-2 is line. Diving catch, Didi. And Bradley just put his hands up to his helmet. I don't blame him. He hit the tar out of it, and Didi made a sprawling catch. 1 away.
Yeah, he goes across his body really, really well. He dove for that, going towards third base.
Here's Travis Shaw, who is 1 for 2. The 1, a 2-run home run. There's a strike from Eovaldi. Baltimore's pitching is certainly not great, very average, but at the end of the game they're very tough. There's the 0-1. Caught on this with Brock and Britton. They're very, very tough at the end.
Brock's become a big-time pitcher. I loved, if you missed pregame, I talked to Dylan Betances, and Brad Brack's from New Jersey. And Betances was so happy for other relievers and the guys who are not closers. He said, Britton's the best of all of us. But he was so happy for Brad Brack to make the All-Star team.
The 0-2 just missed inside, 1 and 2. I just saw that pitch on replay. Boy, if I was a Baldy, would I be angry? Which you shouldn't be. You shouldn't get that way. Here's the 1-2. Swung on in line to Headley, who was playing on the first base side of second. But it's a liner to the third baseman two-way. And the reason I said I'd get angry is it was a fastball. It had the inside part of the plate, and it was under the letters. I mean, it was a strike, you know. But that's why there is a rule. You can't argue balls and strikes. You'd be here all week. So 2-8, here's Brock Holt.
I don't think I've ever seen Nathan Eovaldi angry.
I'd agree with you. Very placid.
Very even-tempered.
Anyway, the pitch is lined to left field for a base hit. Gardner fields and throws in the perfect Brock Holt inside-out swing, line one to left. Now, I didn't say Eovaldi. I said I would be angry. Now, I would get angry.
No, he doesn't. He'd say, well, if he thought it was I'll get him the next time. That's Eovaldi.
So 2-on-2 out, and here is Hannigan. Hannigan left Annie to become a ball player. So McCann goes out and talks to Nathan.
I think he had a sister and they called her Miss Hannigan.
No, I don't think so. And I don't think I would either.
No.
Runners lead first and second, 2 out. And there's a strike. The old fastball at 98. Hannigan homered on a 3-1 pitch. Pineda had retired the first 8 men, went to 3-1 on a guy hitting under 200 with no home runs. Threw one down the middle and bang, it went out. Bang, bang. There's the 0-1. Pitch missed outside. 1-1. Ramirez leads off second. Holt leads off first. And the pitch is fouled. First base side out of play, 1-2.
This is one of those innings, John, where the shift has absolutely worked. Because they've been hitting rockets. Just happened to be Didi, great. Headley on the other side of second.
The old Adam ball. Now here's Eovaldi's 1-2. Struck him out swinging, high fastball. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Boston has a 5-3 lead on the WFN. Well, the Yankees send up Headley, the 9th hitter, switch hitter, and then the 2 lefties. And because of that, Boston uses one of their 2 lefties. They have Tommy Lane, and they have Robbie Ross. And here is Robbie Ross, a lefty to pitch the 8th. Ziegler went an inning, all zeros, 3 up, 3 down. And Headley takes a fastball high. So they bring in the lefty to face Gardner and Ellsbury. Here's Headley to lead it off. 5-3 Red Sox, bottom of the 8th. Pitch grounded right up the middle for a base hit. Now Headley is on, and now the Yankees will send up the tying run. No, lefty to lefty, and here is Brett Gardner. The clean, quiet efficiency of a durable Lux Air conditioning system will keep you cool all summer long. So go to luxaircares.com. That's luxaircares.com.
And Ross has been okay. Hasn't been great. He has an ERA of 4.71, 29 innings, 28 hits, 15 earned runs. Not great. Only giving up 1 home run.
Lefty to Gardner, and the fastball high, 1-0.
We are coming to you live from the Sunoco broadcast booth. The Sunoco Free Fuel 5000. Get the decal, get spotted, win.
Here's the 1-0. Up high, 2-0. Maybe Ross overthrowing a little bit.
I'm looking in the bullpen, John, and Chapman's up.
Well, he'll get an inning, which he probably needs. He hasn't pitched in a long time, and who knows, maybe wishful thinking. There'll be a reason to have him in. The 2-0 is inside, 3-0. Now the shortstop Bogarts comes in to touch the Rosenberg and tell Ross something, probably relax. It'll be a 3-0. A walk would be unbelievably important for the Yankees. It would put the tying runs on base, and you would have really good hitters coming up. Ellsbury, Beltran, and McCann, the 3-0. And there's a strike as he whistled it right through.
You know, we were giving you all these great offensive numbers from Boston, but if there's a problem here, it's with their pitching. Dave Dombrowski has been trying to address it, but this is the problem part of this team.
It'll be a 3-1 to Gardner. Swung on, hit in the air to center field and deep. Back goes Bradley on the edge of the track, makes the catch. And there's one away. So Gardner swung at a 3-1 pitch and flied out. Close. They were close, 3-0. One more bad one, they'd have 2 men on. So. But you got to make him swing or let him swing on good pitches to hit. He hit the ball okay, just to the wrong part of the ballpark. So here's Ellsbury.
Tommy Lane, the other lefty in the Sox bullpen, is up.
No 1-on-1 out. Here is Ellsbury, and the pitch. There is a strike. Now the lefty's 0-1 is outside 1-1. Ellsbury the tying run with Headley at first. It's 5-3 Boston, bottom of the 8th. 1-1's fouled away, third base side out of play. So 1-2 on Ellsbury.
Mostly fastballs, fastball slider by Robbie Ray.
Here's the 1-2 to Ellsbury. Headley a very short lead at first. And the 1-2. Line down the left field line. It is a foul ball. Just missed. Just missed. You know, I was watching that. The left-hand hitter's ball will curve down the left field line. And it will bend out, in other words, or slice. And you know what? You could see it slice, and it landed, oh my, right outside the line. That would have been a double, and the Yankees would have had second and third and 1 out, and they would have had 2 cracks at the tying base hit. You could see it slice, and it happened to land just outside the line.
And really, a half an inch, I'll bet.
That's just luck. You know, good luck, bad luck. What are you going to do? That was really close. That was really close. That'll be a 1-2. Ellsbury checked his swing. He went third base umpire, Rob Drake, said swing. So there are two, and here's Beltran.
Now a meeting on the mound. Catcher Hannigan, first baseman Ramirez.
Beltran 1 for 3. He had a single his last time to knock in 2 to the 3 Yankee runs. And the pitch is a strike. And the pitch is swung on, hit in the air to right center. There is Betts to make the catch to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. And now at the end of 8 innings of play, it's 5.